Chapter 23. Surveillance. Migti warriors joined Jonathan, Noel Khaled Al-Dhib, and his wife, Joy, hand-picked from both of their teams for the mission. Asele, a speedster, and Young, the young woman whom Wanyenyekevu discovered hiding as a man in the camp, volunteered. Young showed herself as a worthy and trusted warrior, whose gift was telepathy. Amardad was an interpreter. She could speak any language, spoken or written, computer or humanoid. Efusa could enlarge himself on 100 times his size, and Zubin was the opposite. He would reduce his size to on 100 times smaller. On a would imagine that Efusa would have on 100 times his strength, which he did, but Zubin, at his height, had the same power as Efusa did at his smaller size, whereas they nicknamed him Hormiga. Then there was Amado. He was a weapon expert before joining Wanyenyekevu. His gift was the ability to emulate any weapon he talked about, whether large or small. Maskim and Awotwi were men of great strength, and lastly, Dalia, a shapeshifter, could transform into any person that she touched or saw. They also had a few warriors with them headed to Find family. Members beter side. Al-Dhib and Joy's team prepared al-Nigt for their long-8.5-day journey to Cuauhtémoc. That morning they all headed southeast toward the abandoned town of Los Lunas, New Mexico, avoiding all metro towns as instructed by Wanyenyekevu. They all were equipped with their Torah, weapons, communication devices, tablet, and what is known as Al-Dhib and Elisha's survival kit, simply called a este survival kit, consisted of 4 modified cubes for better tracking and, with interested dimensions, a transparent tent that could conceal your body heat from radar, which was redesignated with OBS help, and a first aid kit. They arrived at the outskirts of the abandoned town of Las Cruzadas, New Mexico. Efusa and Zubin shared a cube because they tried linking 8 cubes together, and no one got any sleep, because Efusa and Zubin snored the entire night. Al-Dhib jokingly called them the Grizzlies of Madinat al-Tanwir. Madinat al-Tanwir was Arabic, a name that Amardad came up with to call their new home, which meant city of enlightenment. Al-Dhib and Joy shared a cube and linked 3 cubes, one for the Grizzlies of Madinat al-Tanwir, another for the rest of the men, another for the women, and one for themselves. But they all gathered food and ate together. After a long day, Al-Dhib sat at the center of the room, working on his tablet in his cube. He sent the strange image to the wall. I wish someone would make some up-to-date movies. These films dated back to 1988 and ended somewhere around 2012. There are millions of them, but I think I've seen them all. Joy sighed. Just put on a comedy, I never get tired of them, plus Hollywood doesn't exist anymore, just this metaverse stuff. He gave her the tablet, pick something, and I'll watch whatever you watch. She strolled through the tablet, calling out titles, All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son. Al-Dhib interrupted. Wanyenyekevu once told me brother and me about one of the first Ufuatilian filmmakers and novelists during the beginning of that era. Named Oscar Michaux, who created 44 silent and talking films. Hollywood films marginalized roles and perpetuated stereotypes of blacks, so Michaux started his own movie production company. His first silent film and the first Ufuatilian film at that, in this country called The Homesteader, based on one of his novels. During the Jim Crow era, he released another silent film. Within our gates, made by a Ufuatilian, 4 Ufuatilians and used a Ufuatilian cast. His movie, Body and Soul, introduced actor Paul Leroy Robeson, a concert artist, stage and film actor, professional football player and activist. Joy smiled, look at you, sounding like wanyenyekevu. Aldhib blushed and was about to speak when he saw something on the tablet. Hey baby, let's watch that one. He said to watch that all the time with me brother, and the commercials were priceless looking at how they were behind back then, compared to now. You know what this is my first solo mission, it has always been me and Jome. Joy picked up her communication de week. I had to disappoint you and your brother arrangements. I can go home and call him here. Aldhib said, if you don't put that thing down, I was just starting a fast, not a wish, silly Willie. Bring your ass here, it's me and you against the world now. Bring that ass to me. Joy said. Ok, you Sura. Aldhib smile, me and you baby, just me and you. Joy smile back and picked up the tablet. No, ik knew there would be something we both like. I always loved comedies too. Aldhib sat down next to Joy as she continued, we used to watch shows like Martin, Baby, I'm Back, and Nigget Cold. Aldhib paused the show. Joy said, what are you doing? Aldhib said, I was letting you finish talking. Joy smiled, I'm finished, let's watch the show. Aldhib pressed play. As he laid his head on Joy's lap as they both lounged, watching the show being casted on the wall. Aldhib checked the radar for anything usual then and sent that image to the wall next to the screen as they watched classic shows and movies. After watching a few shows, Aldhib started rapping along with one of the show's theme songs. Joy looked at Aldhib, seeing her staring, oh, what is it? I got something stuck between me teeth again? I don't know, you just don't tell me stuff. Instead of staring at me, I felt like an itchy bit. Joy smiled, no silly Willie, I heard you sing, and you're pretty good, I want you to sing a song with me. Aldhib laughed, I don't sing, I don't know where you get that from. Joy looked at him, I just heard you. Aldhib smiled, oh. Baby, that's rapping. Joy smiled, it's singing to me. Will you help me sing my favorite song? Aldhib smiled, Sura. Joy jumped up smiling, and Aldhib loved when Joy got excited about something. She played a classic song entitled, Into You Bitamia, that featured a rapper by the name of Fabuloso. Singing I think you're truly something special, just what my dreams are truly made of. Aldhib was so impressed with her singing, and that she was singing to him from the heart. He came in rapping, lies games plain insane. That was me when I was a humanizing little boy. Back then, women were just toys and felt that love didn't make no sense. But God opened me eyes, and to my surprise, I found you. And tears formed in Joy's eyes as Aldhib opened up to her in the song. They finished the chorus together until the end of the song. They wiped each other's tears, and Aldhib looked at Joy, it is getting late, so I'm going to call it a night. Joy turned to him, I want to watch another episode of Martin, and then I will join you. She looked at something on the screen, good night, baby. Aldhib, unnoticed by Joy, got completely nude and walked up to Joy. She looked at him as she caresses his penis. I told you, I love a comedy. Aldhib sighed. Oh, you got jokes. You didn't say that the other nigget. Joy jokingly sighed as she stood up. What nigget? I didn't feel anything. We haven't had sex within the last 2 weeks. You're telling me something I don't know about. Aldhib's penis slowly erected as she undressed and guided his penis between her legs, whispering, You're gonna have it to Jeremy. Memory, Mr. Aldhib looked into her eyes and whispered, "I got work to do then." As he began to kiss her on the lips, as she began rubbing his back, he grabbed her with both hands, squeezing her butt, as he slowly, softly forced her butt in and out, making his penis rub against her clitoris. Up and down, in and out, as he felt her juices spreading all over his penis. He gently grabs her, beat the back of the head, kisses her neck, and gently beats her ears. Laying her down, she spread her legs open, and Aldhib slowly penetrated her vagina. She made a slight jerking motion as he slowly went in and out, up and down. The warmth of her vagina made Aldhib's penis throb. Joy's toes balled up like a fist as he speeded up just a little. He grabs her by the back and flips them both over. Joy was now on top, and Aldhib looked down at his penis while entering her vagina and saw her juices flowing heavier. He grabs her by the breast, squeezing and massaging them as they become hard as diamonds while kissing them. She moved in and out, up and down, in and out, slowly rotating from clockwise to counterclockwise. They both rushed as her vagina made a popping sound. Sweat dripped off both of them. She started feeling an orgasm coming, and so did he. They ratched in their movement as he grabbed her again and flipped her over. Right then, her orgasm began, and he penetrated deeper and deeper, took his feet, and stood on the tips of his toes, and then let out a loud grunt. They were heavily covered in sweat, and their lower bodies were covered in their juices. He fell on top of her as they lay there for a while, trying to catch their breath. Aldhib's ejection slowly descended, popping out of her vagina. They both were breathing heavily before he slowly rolled over. Joy could hardly catch her breath. "Tell me, when you put it in ok," and they both looked at each other and laughed. Aldhib got up on his elbow, looked Joy in the eyes. "I love you," she smiled. "We," he said, "you make me happy. I've never felt happiness or knew what happiness was, most of my life, and about had the nerves to bring me a wife named Joy." She smiled and laid her head on his chest until they both fell asleep. Meanwhile, back at Madinat al-Tanwir, Wanyenyekevu, Jaime, and Kenji were training when Obe and Jome approached. "We have a band of men, about 75 or so on jet ships, and another 75 to 100 on horses about 10 miles behind them approaching us from the east." Wiping the sweat from his brow, Wanyenyekevu told Jome and Obe, "You two, grab your men, and let's see how we have here, and, by the way, grab Grate." Wanyenyekevu and his men exited the South Gate, other than by spaceship or jet ship. It was the only entrance into or out of Madinat al-Tanwir. About halfway to the men on jet ships, Wanyenyekevu said aloud, "We depose men, I hope he's here so we can finally get rid of him." Having all sharpshooters posted in different locations, Wanyenyekevu and 16 of his men approached them in a diamond-shaped formation. The closer they got to them, the more they spread out into a straight horizontal line formation. Wanyenyekevu stopped about a mile from the men, pulling out a white flag, and spoke to his men by his earpiece. "I hope to spare as many as I can, but I doubt it, if I find on a man who isn't evil. But there just might be one." Wanyenyekevu bowed his head and prayed, "Sabaoth, if all these men are evil, let them feel your wrath. However, if any of these men are not evil, let it be your will that somehow they are spared." Amen. Everyone who heard his voice said Amen. Wanyenyekevu looked up. These jet ships and horses were called Use. As a matter of fact, Jome, we need to go get those jet ships your brother buried. Wanyenyekevu sawa vision, sharpshooters, you will pick off those ikal out, but I'm just stalling, while waiting for those on horseback to get closer. Wanyenyekevu held the white flag hig to hide grate, not knowing if they had scopes, and said to grate, make a small deer tornado and make your way behind the men on horses, and kill the last ones and work your way towards us, quickly and quietly as possible. Then he told his men, stay within range and shot to kill. No, standing about 3 to 4 yards from the men on jet ships, Wanyenyekevu said, go die, my friends. The men held up their weapons, and he called her Obe shouting, Wanyenyekevu, get out of there. Wanyenyekevu spoke softly back into his meat, Obe, I've seen everything before it has happened, remember? Then Wanyenyekevu started talking to the men. Never mind that, me men are worried about me. No. Where? Oh yeah, please lower your weapon. It makes me men kind of nervous, plus. We are just here to talk, rigged. Given the order to lower their weapons by the leader of the men dropped their jet ships evenly to Wanyenyekevu's height, and some men in the rear lowered their weapons as well. Wanyenyekevu whispered into the airpiete to his men, all the ones that didn't lower their weapons on me mark. I got 4 of them, to me rigged, you all need to get them first. The man who appeared to be the leader looked at Wanyenyekevu, you are either an imbecile or crazy, or is in charge here, for this land belongs to Abenib Ondoasita and Oedipus, and I am Telal, the son and hig commander of Oedipus. Wanyenyekevu looked at the man, I guess I am the one in charge, and im Wanyenyekevu, a servant of Sabaoth and Abenib Ondoasita is dead. We killed it. Telal smiled. Yes, you're an imbecile, there is no way in hell, your silly ass could have killed Ondoasita. No, tell your leader to show himself. Wanyenyekevu held a finger up to Seme. Then whispered into his airpiete. You need to kill the fat one with the white jet ship also, on me mark. Wanyenyekevu looked up at the man again, sorry about that, me men kept telling me you are wicked men, but I said, no, all men are good, rigged. Wanyenyekevu counted down in his mind, and then shouted, no. A bullet went through Telal's skull, killing him as he fell to the ground. The rest of the men who had their weapons raised also fell to their deaths. As a man in front of Wanyenyekevu reached for his weapon, Wanyenyekevu quickly took two wooden stars out and killed 2 men that were behind him before killing him. There stood 4 men standing there, in awe. Wanyenyekevu looked at the men, sorry about that, those men were a little bit too trigger happy for me. He spoke into his meat, you will see them raise their weapon, those need to be killed first, and we got the rest. Grabbing the man in front of him, he forced the man around, using him as a shield while he took out his samurai and started killing those whom his men didn't. Covered in blood, the men that were on horseback were upon him. Wanyenyekevu held up his hands. This is not what it seems, as he lowered his arms to sling the blood off his body, saying, Grate behind them covered in blood, for she had disarmed all the men and killed the rest. Wanyenyekevu was no longer in a joking mode, I know whom you seek, and I know you seek him, but my question to you is, do you want to die here, or do you choose another place, maybe even another day to rest? Look behind you and say that your men are all gone. And you do not have any weapons. The men looked behind them and saw there were only 20 of them left. Hold on, said one of the men, but Wanyenyekevu interrupted him and threw a star that instantly killed him. No, you hold your tongue and keep your piety, ufuatilian dog. Speaking the words of the man before they were spoken. Below, the rest of the men were surrounded and realized that they didn't have any weapons. Wanyenyekevu said, send this message to your leader Oedipus. Your first son he killed was out of self-defense, and the other two as well, and all of the corpses you say here will rot and soon will be driven that the animals will pick off for their meals. Unless you have more children for me to kill, or you yourself want to die, come do it yourself, if you want me dead. But you, too, shall be a feast for the wild animals. I have a saying. Your drugs and money, and they are all destroyed alongside your partner in crime, Abenib Ondoa Sita, for it, too, is dead. It is now your turn, so that I may continue my work for about. But I will give you time to repent and send no more after me, and I will leave you alone. Come at me, on more time, I shall surely kill you and all that is with you according to Sabaoth will. Wanyenyekevu pointed at another man. Yo. I say what you want to do, but I tell you, if you want to live another day, that knife in your boat will remain there. He continued, we are the best of the best. I would imagine after the other attempts on my life had failed, you would be counted your loss and moved on, but men like you are far too gone even to service about. I know this, I will probably have you all killed for this, returning without me head, and he so taled, his commander is dead also. But maybe he won't. The men all stood there confused, and just turned around, no. Wanyenyekevu said, these horses and weapons are no menace. You will walk and tell Oedipus and Ondoa Moja that this is no longer their land. No man's land is now Sabaoth's land. 15 men stood there while the rest walked away. One of the men approached, my name is Chimaka, and this is my brother Albors. We want to stay here with you. Wanyenyekevu checked the men to see where their hearts were and looked at them, welcome. The rest left headed east toward El Paso, and Wanyenyekevu and his men gathered up the jet ships, horses, weapons, and whatever rations on the dead men and headed back to camp. Wanyenyekevu looked at Obe and Jome, as he entered the gate's entrance, there will be a war between Oedipus, and he shall surely die for he is evil. Obe said, that is for certain. Wanyenyekevu got on one of the jet ships, how do you read this thing? Obe said, training in the morning, after all training with Jaime and Kenji. Wanyenyekevu shook his head, Everyone needs to drive on, so training is for everyone. While I'm thinking about it, again, we need to say we left behind that Jonathan excluseme al-Dhib hid in the desert. Wanyenyekevu paused for a while and smiled, you know what? Leave extra king on this one, for I have an idea. Well, you better make that too, Sabaoth just made a way for us to get to al-Dhib and the rest of them back. Here, quicker. It took them, 8 and a half days to get there. How long will we get to them on one of these? Obed said, about 3.5 to 4 hours, or less. Wanyenyekevu smiled and shook his head, Sabaoth is able. Obed replied, indeed, he is. But what is the other one for? Wanyenyekevu smiled. Still working on that idea, either way, Oedipus will come to me. Later that night, after everyone had gone in for the night, Wanyenyekevu laid down and stared up at the stars and wrote, you were black. You were black. Mind, body, and soul. What makes me and mi people unique? Who possess anine na series, unlike the rest, who possess 6. Mi people have never considered ourselves better than the rest. You said that it was you who confessed that. However, they seem to read our backs about these facts. And what makes you, a person, a human, no different from the rest. Unique in just that fact. But, only thing is for certain, we have a long ride home. And we have to do it alone. Mi people, we have a long ride home. They talk the body already, and said it, abuse it, molest it, and then abandon it. That alone works on the mind. Start believing the truth is a lie. And a lie is the truth. Started doing things to prove you are worthy. But the things you do are, beneath they. I'm talking to both, you and me. Saying it's me fault, and maybe deserve it. That's your mental king, that feeling of being alone, and it looks to be far gone. But the soul. Oh, that soul has the strength of 10,000 men alone. So come out of the worker on. It'll be like opening the window of your body. Opening up the window of your mind. And shine on through. Destroying that haunts you. You asked we. We did get chosen. To get harassed. Abused, molested, and tested. I'll say because you were chosen, you were appointed, you were blessed, you were gifted, you were anointed, you were black. Aldib and his group left Las Truques, New Mexico, and came to Laguna de Bustillos. They circled the abandoned town to the northernmost region, for Joy talked of her father and didn't want to see the destruction. Once they cleared that area, they established a base of operation. Expecting desert, they were happily surprised. It was green land with rich soil, perfect for farming. Aldib placed 3 cubes in the lakes with booby traps. 2 tents on top of the land. While they strategically planted their underground campsites in a location that would benefit from any attack on the camp. Once everything was in place, they all searched for food. Some went fishing while others went hunting, and the women combined the remains of each ration's bag and madea. Lagerfest. Sitting there reading a map and eating his meal, Aldib said to the group, even though we are about 5 hours away, I don't want anyone to think we all are together. We will not meet here again until after 7 days, until we get the intel we need. If something happens or there is an emergency, please abandon your post and meet here. Pointing to the map of an abandoned building in Vista Hermosa as he continued, if you cannot make it here, use the communication devices, and we will do what we have to do accordingly. He studied the map and paused for a second. No, according to Jaime, Higuay from Colonial Varo Obregon to Cuauhtemoc has heavy traffic, 24-hour transportation to and from Colonia and Huats, Herete Change shift. Pointing at Axele, your speed causes those trials, so you will only work at night. In the morning, just sit tig as the rest of us do our thing. During the day, you will rest here, and hold the fort down. Observe and monitor Higuay and the lake. Myself, Joy, and Amardad will check out this Colonia and Huats. Efusa, you and Young, start at Colonial Varo Obregon and work your way to Pizzeria La Sierra. Zubin, you and Dalia start at Cuauhtemoc and work your way up to Pizzeria La Sierra. Taking another bit of his food, once you all reach Pizzeria La Sierra, head back to camp. Zubin, you and Dalia should leave at about 2 am, enough time to reach the town by morning. And Efusa, you and Young leave around 10 am. They finished discussing their plans and quickly laid down for the night. The next morning, Uhile heading to Colonia and Watts, Al-Dhib was in a good mood and had an idea, and said with a smile, "Ok, lok, yal gonna be mi hois, and ilbe yal pimp." Joy, surprisingly, said, "I don't know how to act like no prostitute." Amardad said, "It's easy. You have to switch, really hard." Joy, with a puzzled look, switch. Amardad smiled, "You know move your hips." Al-Dhib looked at Amardad, "Go ahead and show her." Amardad walked ahead of them a few feet, switched her hips, turned around, and headed back toward them, like this. Joy sighed, "Oh, I can do that." She walked up, barely moving her hips, and sighed, like this. Al-Dhib burst out laughing, "Hell to the now. You're not making a penny like that, and I say you got that." They were talking about the other day. Joy, with a strange look, "What say?" Al-Dhib said, "No as at all." Al-Dhib and Amardad started laughing even harder. Joy got mad, and Al-Dhib grabbed her. "I'm just playing around, baby, you got all the little ass I need, enough to grip and dip." Amardad was blushing, while Joy slowly put a smile on her face. Then Al-Dhib jokingly sighed, "Haha hell, yell bitches better have me money," and started running away from Joy as she chased him. Zubin and Dalia reached Cuauhtemoc around saa nane na madakika 30 and saw on a bus driver headed to the back of a building. Dalia turned to Zubin, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" Zubin said, "No, what are you thinking?" Dalia said, "We take his bus and run his route while we listen in on people's conversations." Zubin said, "What about him? He might aller Someone." Dalia replied, "We lock him up, tie him up, whatever. We'll figure that out later." They rushed to the back of the building, where he was urinating, and Zubin pinned him against the wall as the urine sprayed all over his shoes. The man said, "Hey." Zubin and Dalia integrated the man for 5 minutes. Zubin told the old man, "Sorry, but I can't take any chances." Knocking the old man out, he tried his hands and feet with wires and rags he found scattered around the area. Dalia Shape shifted into the bus driver and Zubin shrank himself down and jumped into one of her pockets. Loading all their weapons into bags, they loaded the bus. People were upset and fussing over being late. Dalia started the bus and did as the bus driver instructed her, picking up and dropping off people as they headed to Pizzeria La Sierra. At the same time, Zubin walked amongst the people, as small as he could, learning what he could. Arriving at Colonial Varo Obregon around saa 7 na madakika 45, Efusa and Young, already covered in dust and sand, added just a bit more to appear homeless and handicapped. Efusa makes one of his feet much larger than the other, and Young puts on some broken shades she found earlier to appear blind. Walking up to busy intersections and asking for money, while Young read people's minds. Efusa wrote notice as Young gave them to him. At saa 4 na madakika 30, all 4 warriors met secretly at Pizzeria La Sierra on a dead-end road of Campo Cuminatano, discussing their findings and realizing that the ship's arrival was that night. They determined that it was time to return to camp. Still an hour and a half to camp, they all were weary, hungry, and tired. When they heard spake cruisers coming in their direction, they all hid as 3 spake cruisers carrying 20 people passed them and landed just ahead of them. Zubin looked, and it was the old bus driver he had knocked out. He looked carefully and saw 4 women, 8 men, a few children, and an old lady holding tightly to the bus driver. Te were tied upuhile 4 men started batting and terrifying the men. 3 men jumped off the spake creasers as the driver cut off the engines wheel one of them approached the woman. I'm going to start with you, Granny. Holding his grouch as he continued, I know the old man hasn't satisfied you. Maybe you'll get on a last orgasm before you die. Afterward, I walk me way down to that baby boy over there. 10 men will follow as your husband and the children watch, and then I will kill you and leave you here to rot. Zubin and Efusa didn't hesitate and arose. From there he ding. Let's say how you are supposed to do that when you are dead. The old man raised his head. That's him, that's the guy that took me bus. And Zubin said to the old man, sorry, me friend, but I needed to do that, but I promise you on a thing, you will not dare to die. The rest of the warriors walked out with their weapons drawn and ready to fight. The 4 men stopped batting the men, and the brutes turned toward Efusa and the warriors, as the latter said, what the fuck are you? And what business is it of yours, on what I do? Zubin said, if only I had time, I would teach you how to respect women and children, but that'll be a quick lesson before you die. I would love for your death to be done by a woman. Young didn't hesitate and said, me. Pleasure. Young rushed toward the man, and as the man lunged out to punch her, she quickly cut off his arm as she made a backflip. She quickly decapitated the man. Before the rest of the men could react, the rest of the warriors threw stars, killing them instantly as Zubin and Efusa untied the men and put them in the spake creasers while Young and Dahlia untied the women and children, and they all headed toward the camp city.